Beautiful, beautiful day. There was hardly any wind. Wind's supposed to go up tomorrow. Keeping my eye on the forecast. So rather than doing overnight, I'm going to go home. There's a big lake here I got to go around, and it's a bit dangerous when the wind comes up. And I don't want to get stuck in here because I only got 2 days of food, or a day of food. Welcome to the Yukon in North 61. Bit of a storm today. Glad I'm off the water. And bullet testing. A lot of people are thinking that 348 flex tip is too frangible for moose, so I'm going to test it today against the 358 Winchester and various projectiles. These are the 3 rifles I tested today. Savage 99, 358 Winchester, Remington 660, 350 Rem Mag, and the beloved Model 71 348 Winchester. Okay, my camera ran out, so I'm back here at home. 358s, 350 Rem Mag, and 348. Let's dig them up and see what we find. So as usual, what did we learn today? So roughly, sectional density and penetration seem to be fairly well aligned. We started at 150 grains, went all the way up to 250, and let's see in detail how these bullets worked out. First up is the 150 grain Remington core lock. We got them almost to 2,700 feet per second, and this was the only core separation of the day. It went through 6 inches of water and then 5 inches of wet newsprint. And look at the expansion, all the way up to 75 caliber at its widest, but it did split. As usual, these Spear hot cores, this is the 180 grain flat nose, very, very dependable. This kept 77% of its weight. Penetrated really well for a light bullet, 8 inches into the wet newsprint after 6 inches of water. And again, limited expansion, which I think helps penetration. Going up to the Remington core lock, 200 grain. This is for the 350 Rem Mag. I think you can still maybe buy these. Very, very good expansion and decent penetration. A pretty good all-around bullet. Kept 79% of its weight really locked in there. And you can see it really created a ball. Okay, now we're switching to the 348. And this 200 FTX, once again, very, very dependable. 82.5% of its weight retention, good expansion, good penetration. I was looking for 12 inches for moose, but it came very, very close. Maybe because it has a little higher sectional density than a 35. The 220 grain flat nose, again by Spear hot core, kept 87% of its weight, penetrated a little bit more. Didn't expand as high, but it really had an amazing effect on that bottle. I just got soaked, so it had a lot of energy dump right away. The 225 Sierra expanded quite a bit wider than the 220 Spear, but it didn't penetrate too much more, and I think it's because maybe it has slower expansion to begin with, because that 220 Spear just wrecked that bottle, where the 225 Sierra did not as much. So maybe it's a slower expanding at the 250 Spear is our winner as far as penetration, in part because of that low velocity, very moderate expansion, only 52 by 54. That was the least expansion, but it really penetrated 17 inches. It almost went right through everything, and that was after 6 inches of water. Good bullet. In the 350 Rem Mag, I went with a Spear Grand Slam. I had some old ones around. 208 grains, 83% weight retention, better than the Spear hot core. Almost as good penetration and better expansion. And I think a better bullet in the 350 Rem Mag when you're going 2,500 feet per second or so. And as always, thanks for watching from North 61.